Julia paused. It was only a second, maybe two, but in that space she did what she had always done best. She centered herself. Shoulders back, breath steady. Face composed into something calm, measured, unreadable. The same internal switch she flipped when deposing a hostile witness or standing before a jury that needed to believe every word she was about to say. Control, composure, precision. She opened the door. Brian stood there holding a large white pizza box, steam faintly curling from the edges. For a split second, neither of them moved. Then his eyes lifted and locked onto hers. "Julia?" he said. The confusion in his voice was unmistakable, genuine. He hadn't expected this, not tonight, not ever, perhaps. Whatever he had braced himself for when he took this delivery, it had not been her. "Hi, Brian," Julia said, smoothly, working to match his astonishment with something light, almost casual. "It's good to see you." Even as she said it, a part of her marveled at the audacity of the moment. Delivering a pizza, standing in her doorway, acting as if this were all coincidence, some harmless accident of fate, rather than the carefully constructed outcome of multiple phone calls, strategic timing, and more self-interrogation than she'd done in years. "Please," she added quickly, stepping aside. "Come in. You can put the pizza in the kitchen and have a seat. I just need to get the money out of my purse in the bedroom." Brian hesitated, only briefly, then nodded. Polite. Habitual. He stepped inside, following her directions with the same quiet compliance he'd always shown her. She turned and walked toward her bedroom. The moment she was out of his sight, the composure cracked. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a crisp $20 bill, one of several she'd prepared, folded neatly, ready to hand over. The simplest path, the cleanest exit. And the wrong one. If she handed him the money now, he would take it. He would thank her politely. He would leave. The elevator doors would close, and whatever unfinished business lived between them would calcify into permanence. She closed her eyes, the bill still between her fingers. No. She needed him to wait. Just a moment. Long enough for her to speak, not as an attorney, not as a client, not as someone in control of the outcome, but as herself. Whatever that meant now. She left the money on the dresser and walked back out. Brian was standing near the kitchen counter, hands loosely at his sides. He looked up when she returned. "You know," Julia began, not bothering to sit, "it really is good to see you." Brian's eyebrow lifted slightly. "Is it?" The question was simple, but it landed with weight. "Of course it is," Julia said, a faint blush rising despite her efforts. Silly question. She felt his eyes on her, steady, focused, perceptive. The same gaze that had unsettled her outside the pizzeria. She resisted the urge to fill the silence with legal polish. "I wanted to talk to you," she continued. "I was hoping you might reconsider taking your job back with the car service." Brian's expression didn't change, but something sharpened behind his eyes. "You said you were looking forward to the opportunity," Julia went on, choosing her words carefully, "and I didn't want any misinterpretations that may have come from our time together last week to keep you from pursuing that." "Misinterpretation," Brian repeated. "Yes," she said quickly. "I know we got off on the wrong foot, and I know I likely came off as too abrasive, though maybe that's too generous a word from your perspective. You probably think worse of me." She took a breath. This part was harder than she'd expected. "So please, Brian, consider this my attempt to make amends. I can get your job back. I can make sure you're reassigned, and maybe, if you're willing, you and I could develop a more positive working relationship." She paused, then added, softer now, "I'd like another shot at taking you up on that pizza offer, if you were to extend it again." The words hung there, exposed. "You don't have to answer right now," she said. "You can take as much time as you need. The offer stands." She waited. It didn't take Brian very long to understand what was really happening. This wasn't fate. This wasn't coincidence. He saw it in the way she stood, too still, too composed, in the way her voice carried just enough warmth to mask the vulnerability underneath. Julia, master litigator, had built her life on guarding against moments just like this. Vulnerability. The thing she feared more than losing a case, more than public failure, more than heartbreak, perhaps even more than death itself. The idea that another human being might see her as an exposed, unarmored human being. Brian had no illusions about his place in her world, but he also knew something she hadn't yet fully accepted. Power didn't only belong to those with titles, money, or command of a room. Sometimes it belonged to the person who could see clearly and refused to exploit what they saw. He studied her for a moment longer. Then he spoke. "I can answer now," Brian said quietly, meeting her eyes.